Hello and welcome back to Calradia 1403. We have another siege on our hands, and I'm indeed leveling up my engineering skill. I'm very, very pleased about that, actually, because, let's face it, we need to. I have tried to find companions that can potentially join us. Unfortunately, that's not going to work. Yeah. It's not going to work, because, yeah, I'm maxed out, as you can quite clearly tell. And I've made Zoros my governor. I made him my governor because, well, he's the best one that we have available right now because we have no one else, unfortunately for him. So now he has to stay in a very cushy part of Praven, and he's going to be very relaxed, and he's going to bed every single person in the town, because that's what he's all about. He likes bedding people. He doesn't care who it is, as long as he beds them. That's exactly what's going on there. So, he is indeed going to be, well, basically the entire... He's going to be the lord of the town soon. He's going to be the lord of the town. I can almost 100% guarantee it, because everyone's going to love him. Anyway, we are now going to make our way into the siege. And I'm actually surprised that this guy decided to go in here, because he technically could have waited a little bit of time and just destroyed some of the walls, you know? Destroyed some of the walls and, you know, made a little bit of an effort to do that. But unfortunately, he decided against it. So the walls are now completely intact, and they're actually destroying some of the protection that the archers have, at least. So that's kind of nice. You know, to a certain extent, but let's see. Nice! Look at that, I actually did damage! Oh, I'm actually very surprised. Okay, as you can quite clearly tell, 47 damage. I mean, funnily enough, if this was not RBM, I'd be killing this guy very, very fast. But yeah, oh well, never mind. Okay, he just got absolutely murdered. That was hilarious. Okay, we can make our way over here then. I think we're probably going to be fine, because we are indeed completely dominating the opponent in regards to numbers, so that's not really an issue, but the main issue is whether we can even get onto the battlements to begin with. As you can quite clearly see here, this is going to be a problem. Can I jump? No! I cannot jump down here! Oh, this is bad. This is very bad. I might die, literally just because there's an invisible wall here. Okay, that's a bit of a problem. Okay, no. Maybe we're okay. Maybe we're okay now. Okay, unfortunately, pommel hits are not what I want, but, you know, we're going to have to deal with it. Can I go up here? Yes, I can. Okay, that's good. Let's murder them. Murder both of these. No. Oh, are you serious? Wow, they were very good. Did you see that? That was extremely proficient. Yeah, that was really, really good. I should have actually realized that a 2 versus 1 situation was not going to do very well, especially considering these guys are going to be very, very good at using piercing attacks. The AI is always relatively good at using piercing attacks most of the time, especially in RBM. So I should have known that, to be honest. Definitely should have known that. And as you can see, we now have a classic Bannerlord AI situation where... Yes, there was a guy outside the walls and everyone was trying to kill him. Anyway, there you go. 21 renown, 38 influence. Basically, I'm just doing this to solidify a little bit of control in the area. I don't really care what happens to this particular fief. And I don't really care if we lose people or anything like that. That's not really the main point here. Okay, there we go. We can finally put on a nice... Oh yeah, look at Svala right now. She's looking absolutely fantastic. So this is great. Let's take the rest. So now she has some plate armor, and she's actually looking really, really good right now. And Japan Castle has now been taken. There you go. This is exactly what I wanted to do. Vote for the new owner. I mean, technically it could be me if I had a little bit more. Maybe not. Probably not. But yeah, let's have a look here. I will probably just ask, well, not ask, but I will just spend a little bit of influence just to gain some experience here and there. I mean, obviously, my influence gain at the moment is absolutely it's just terrible. It is just terrible. It really needs to do better. but we can't really do anything about that right now, unfortunately. So, charm skill, let's have a look. What are we going to do? Minus 30% influence cost when voting for kingdom proposals made by others. Or minus 25% to initiate kingdom decisions. Yeah, we're probably going to be doing that. Firebrand, I think, is probably the way to go. And so far, I am liking what we're doing with the town. You can see here that my loyalty is back up to 54. When we actually took the town, it was at 16. So you can see just how much he is doing. He's doing a really, really good job right now. I am going to be getting some improvements as well, but not just yet. I want to make sure that we get a really, really large amount of loyalty before we start building things, because the building is going to take a long time. Every single thing is going to take, you know, 30 days plus, probably. And I just want to make sure that we have at least a little bit of a buffer before we start building something. You know, on second thought, I'm actually going to build some stuff. I'm building a fairgrounds at the moment, and I'm going to just hope that we don't have any kind of, you know, rebellion issues. Because, I mean, let's face it, rebellion is, I wouldn't say likely, but I wouldn't say unlikely in many situations. Like, yeah, you know, there is a chance for it to happen, but I think it's much lower than we expect, or than I expect, shall we say. And so I'm gonna give it a shot, and we're gonna try to get the fairgrounds built in time. And if it can be built in time, then I'll be really, really pleased, because that will provide me with additional loyalty, and that will make it even easier for us to stabilize our, you know, situation if the if the loyalty goes super low, then it's going to be very, very useful for us. Otherwise, I am probably going to have a pretty easy time of dealing with this guy, because I've got decent amount of polearm skill now, funnily enough, and I think I should be okay to deal with him without too many issues. Unfortunately, we are getting blocked, but that's okay, because bear in mind, we gain a lot more experience for blocks than we do for actual damage. So I'm very, very pleased with that, actually, surprisingly enough. Usually I'd say, oh no, I don't like being blocked, because it, you know, it doesn't do anything, you know, it does very little damage or whatever. But actually, because of the amount of experience that we gain, I have no idea what the calculation is or anything like that, but as you can quite clearly tell, whenever I do damage, I'm not gaining any skill points whatsoever. Whereas when we do get blocked, we gain loads of skill points. So it's really, really useful. Very, very useful indeed. And you know what? Should I try a couch lance right here? Maybe. Nope. That's not going to work. Yeah, that's not going to work. I have a bad feeling about this, actually. I have a bad feeling that we're probably not going to be getting anything super dramatic here, so I'm actually going to be taking down his mount, if I can. That's usually my strategy nowadays when it comes to tournaments like this, because he's going to be insufferable otherwise. You know, he's one of those guys that is just going to run around, he's going to make sure to block my attack every single time. And as I said, it is actually good that he blocks, because I gain more skill that way. But, you know, when you're trying to win, to have a spam blocker, not exactly great. And we actually just leveled up as a result of this particular fight right here, because we were just blocking, dodging, attacking, and so on and so forth. And it was leading nowhere fast, but obviously I did make a couple of good hits, and that was entirely the reason why he died. But the fact is, look at this. Look at this. I gained so much athletic skill just from getting blocked and doing blocks and things like that. So it really makes a huge difference. Actually quite surprising that is the case. I would actually prefer if the experience gain was the same for both hits and blocks, because I think that makes sense, but I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not. Anyway, I'm gonna be... Oh, I might be okay here. I might be okay. I don't know. I mean, funnily enough, I actually felt like I was going to lose this one. That was a Swadian knight. So definitely difficult. And there's another 11 renown for us right there as well, which is really, really nice. And we did manage to get... Yes! Look at that! We got fine male horse armor. Well, that's actually rather good. Wait. Fine male horse armor? Why am I saying horse armor? It's not horse armor, is it? We didn't get horse armor there, did we? Yes, I did, actually. Fine chainmail horse armor. Oh, that's hilarious. I didn't even realize that we were... I thought it was gloves. Was I not trying to get gloves? I think I was trying to get gloves there, wasn't I? I thought it was gloves. Okay, well, it doesn't really matter, I suppose. I don't think the gloves were that good. They probably were not. These, yes, yeah, there they are right there. Okay, that's quite funny. Anyway, let's just sell a couple of things while we have the ability to do so, and that's it. There we go. Can't really do much else. And now let's see what we can do, because I would love if I could... Okay, we're going to do a little bit of something here. I'm going to actually go into the garrison real fast, because as you can quite clearly tell, we have Rhodoks in here. I'm not entirely sure how these guys got placed in here, but I can only assume it was the army that helped us to take the town initially. I can only say that that's probably the case. Because I did not place them in here, just so you know. But otherwise, let's just take a quick look. I am going to be taking some of these guys. And then there we go. The veteran spearman. We can take a sharpshooter or two, I guess. And we can take some veteran crossbowmen. And there we have it. Okay. Obviously, the main issue when doing sieges is that they literally just murder you. They just murder you super fast. It's actually crazy. Okay, yeah, so I still don't have 25 in medicine, which, thank you very much. There was actually someone that reminded me about that. So I am actually going to be swapping out my surgeon for me for a little bit of time, just so that I can get the 25. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm literally just going to put myself as the surgeon, and there was actually a quest here. Ah, here we go. Yes, caravan ambush. This is actually perfect. This is an absolutely perfect situation to be in right now. So let's just do this. There we are. And we're going to just very slowly shadow the caravan. And we should be relatively good. 57 raiders. Wow, that's actually a pretty significant amount. And we're just going to do an auto-resolve. I'm just going to do an auto-resolve straight away because the medicine skill... I was kind of hoping for a little bit more than that, actually, Barney. I don't know what you're doing, sir, but yes, apparently not very much in this regard. Oh, well, never mind. Okay, there we go. We did it. That was. This is also one of the tasks that I personally believe is one of the best in the entire game, just because you pick up the quest, you shadow the caravan for a little bit of time, and I'm talking about literal seconds. And then you're done, and you pick up a bunch of prisoners, a bunch of loot, and you're finished. And that's it. You're gone. You know, it's super, super quick, super, super efficient, and you don't need to worry about anything, you know? It's just immediately, you know? You just immediately get the reward, and you're out of there. It's a fantastically, really, really good payoff quest. And I personally really enjoy that. I like that. I don't like quests that waste your time, basically. If it's a cool experience, like for example, if you're doing something and you enjoy what you've done in the quest, like for example, the spy quest can be enjoyable. But after you've done it once, do you want to do it again? Because the reward is so, well, lackluster. Probably not, right? Probably not. No, you probably don't want to do it again. Anyway, Hakim of the Saranid Sultanate has decided to declare war on us. Well, that is to be expected. Another caravan ambush. Actually perfect. Here we go. This is exactly what we want. Now let's just follow them once again. This is going to be so nice. Because another 59, and indeed, we can hopefully do another auto-resolve. There we go, another auto-resolve. And We actually took quite a few casualties there, which is good. That is what we need, you know? We need people to take damage. Unfortunately, it does look as though I did take too much damage, and as a result, we didn't actually get any wounded people. We literally just had people that were straight up killed, which is really not what we wanted, obviously, but, you know, I can't really do much about that. You know, it's either, there's just a percentage chance, you know what I mean? It's just a percentage chance whether they live or whether they die, and in this case, obviously, they died, so it didn't really help me out that much. We're going to go in here versus King Harlaus, and while I would like... You know what? I am actually... You know what? Yeah, fine. We're going to go into the fight. I was planning on doing an auto-resolve against this guy, because it is pretty obvious that I think we're going to be okay if we do the auto-resolve. Like, we're going to be, you know, completely and 100% fine. But I then thought, well... It's going to rob us of actually attacking King Harlaus ourselves. And I feel like it's a lot more fun to fight him in person. You know what I mean? So going in there and actually trying to defeat him ourselves. I don't know. I mean, it depends. The funny thing is, Rhodoks are, as we've seen in the past, relatively defensive. And they do tend to play very, very passively most of the time. But apparently this time around, they're not. This time around, they're just going for it. That's pretty crazy. Alright. Oh, this is going to be... Okay. This is going to be kind of interesting, actually, because they are indeed trying to do something. Okay. I'm not entirely sure how these cavalry are even alive right now. They should not be, considering. Okay, there are my infantry right here. Am I the one commanding them? No. I'm not the one commanding them. Okay, so that's good to know. Let's put my guys into a shield wall formation, because I feel like that's probably going to be the best course of action. That guy... Oh, I knew it. Oh, I knew. I was about to say, that guy really needs to block, and he did not, and that was an instant kill. Absolutely fantastic. Love it. Absolutely love it. Okay. Yeah, so let's put my crossbowmen into a loose formation right here. Why are we losing a huge amount of troops? How are we losing a huge amount of troops right now? Oh, over here. Oh, I see. They're actually fighting at the front line. I did not even realize that was happening. Okay, I'm going to tell my forces to charge in then, I guess. I had no idea that they had decided to go in. This was a bit of a mistake, in my opinion, on the Rhodoks part. I feel like they should have just allowed the crossbowmen to do a little bit of damage, first of all. Because we don't really have a significant cavalry force. And if we can eliminate the enemy's cavalry by just allowing them to run themselves into us, then we should have a pretty easy time, I think, you know? That would be a lot better, at least in my opinion. I don't know. There we go, getting some nice kills here and there. Nice little thrust to follow it up. There we go. And I think we're good. Yeah, I think that is basically it. I'm going to literally just put my archers on auto-delegate at the moment, just so that they can move independently, if I can speak. Yes, they can move independently, so I don't have to command them as much, because they will probably need a little bit of movement in their maneuvers, and you know, I obviously don't have the ability to do that while I'm concentrating on running around being an idiot on my horse. Yes, so there you go. That does seem to be it. Funnily enough, most of the kills that my forces have gotten have been me, which is very surprising. I'm never usually getting that many kills. And I think I can probably speed this up now. Spin! The horse spins because we're winning. Yes. Indeed. It doesn't spin when we're losing. It only does that when we're winning, because when we're losing, I'm dead. So it cannot spin. Yeah, that's usually how it goes. Anyway, there you go. 1.8 renown. Okay. I guess that is kind of to be expected, right? Okay, so should I take them prisoner or should I let them go? I personally feel like letting them go, so I will just do that. And we are going to be... yeah, I guess. We'll take a couple of people, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a big fan, but yeah, sure. Why not? Okay. Let's just take these, take that, and then we can take the prisoners as well. Then we can move on. What do we have here? Western Pike is okay. Yeah, we're basically just going to be taking all of the loot. Why not? I mean, it makes sense. You know, it makes sense. And we also have these guys. Why are these fellows not getting taken prisoner? A little bit strange. I'm going to let them go, of course. I am going to let them go. I'm just literally going in here just to gain some charm skill, gain a little bit of relation, and so on. I think that probably makes the most sense. And that seems pretty good. Alright, so there we go. Prisoners, good. Sold them. And then we can go in here. 60,000. Nice. Okay, yeah, there we go. Okay, let's sell a couple of things. Massive amounts of stuff, actually. And I would have liked to have sold... Yeah, I should have just pressed D, shouldn't I? Yeah, should have just done that. Oh, well. Never mind. And let's see now. Okay, how is Praven doing? It's absolutely fine. Okay, let's see. Do we want to... the question is, do we want to go and besiege something else? That's the question. I don't know. That is the question. Is my fairground done yet, by the way? I don't think so, right? Yours is not a face I know, he says. Okay, well, that's actually fine. I don't have a problem with that whatsoever. Okay, so let's actually see what we're going to do here, because let's face it, we've got a couple of cavalry. We only have 2, but, is that actually going to be useful? I don't know. Probably not. Ah, here we go. This is perfect. Okay, let's put these guys up here. There we go. A nice little incline. I have a feeling that these guys are going to play extremely defensively because they barely have any cavalry, as you can see. So it's more than likely that we are going to have to move forward. And if we do, well, that's just how it's going to have to be. You know, we're just going to have to do that. They're going to have to... what? How did I get dazed right there? I think my mount must have gotten hit by something. Must have gotten hit by a crossbow bolt or something along those lines, so that's absolutely fine. I don't have a problem with that. And yeah, it does look as though we are going to have to move forward. Gonna tell them all to move forward here. And maybe I can pick off one of the cavalry. Let's see. Nope. Nope. Okay, yeah, no, that's not gonna happen. Oh, that was surprisingly good. Okay. I'm surprised. Very good. Very nice. Yeah, well, this is obviously not very good. Like, I do not want to go in here, right? This is not actually something that is any bit good for us strategically, tactically, anything like that. But we kind of need to, otherwise it's just going to be a stalemate for 15 minutes or 15 hours or however long the AI actually wants to wait, and I obviously don't want to wait that long. So... yeah, that's basically what it comes down to. Anyway, let's put our guys into a shield wall formation, and my infantry will slowly move a little bit closer, and then we'll just move the archers a little bit behind them as well. And then we'll see what we can do here ourselves, because, as I said, they have barely any cavalry, so it's going to be super easy for us to deal with these fellows, or at least it should be. And yeah, it clearly is. It clearly is. Funnily enough, this is kind of hopefully going to provide me with a decent amount of medicine skill. This is the entire reason why I came in here, by the way. Because this guy was just kind of wandering around Praven. And I thought, what are you doing here, sir? You know, are you scouting? And he might have been scouting, you know, you never know. Maybe he was scouting, maybe he was thinking, oh, maybe I can, you know, report whether this particular fief has a bunch of people in it or not. And I didn't really want him to have the ability to join any army that was going to come along, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. So, That's why I was like, yeah, let's deal with him, you know, let's deal with him. And as you can quite clearly tell, the enemy has just been completely and utterly slaughtered. And I think I can probably tell my cavalry to charge in now. It's actually super funny. The cavalry is so incredibly good at timing that they were literally able to stop one of the enemy's cavalry from charging them just because they had the ability to time it exactly right to hit them at the precise moment when they were in range. And they stopped them in their tracks, which is exactly what happened. Anyway, that is indeed a victory for us right there. I can tell all of our forces to charge in technically if we want to. I don't think we're going to have any issues there. And there it is. That is indeed a victory for us. Very nice indeed. Okay, so let's actually take a look here. Yeah. My sharpshooters actually did a relatively decent job. We are losing more of our sergeants, though, as you might expect, because they are obviously on the front line, but that's just how it goes. Anyway, there it is. I'm going to let him go. They don't like me one bit, as you can tell. Look at that. They've got minus 43 with us, but that's probably just because we were besieging some of their fiefs, and that does make sense, of course, you know. And they surely don't like it when we take their stuff. I mean, who would, right? Who would? Anyway, this is where we currently are. Let's go over to Praven and see how the building is doing. I think it might be done relatively soon, but what I'm really hoping for is Medicine 25. Ah, look at what we have here. Yes, indeed, we have a peace offering from the Swadians. Oh, yes, that is to be expected, isn't it? Yes. What? Make peace with the Swadians? Our kingdom will pay 2,600? What? They're winning? Wait a minute. They were winning. What? I'm actually really surprised about that. Okay, let's make peace with them then, I guess. Okay, so what? I am so surprised. I never would have expected. Okay, I don't understand that. I have no idea how that is even possible. Unfortunately, my medicine skill, as you can see, did not level up. Yes, I am livid. I am livid about that, but you know, that's just how it goes. Anyway, I'm not sure what to really make of that. I guess what I should have done is, if we did want to help out our faction even further, or as much as we possibly could, then what I should have done was take people prisoner, right? That's probably what I should have done in the sort of like grand scheme of things. But the main problem with taking people prisoner is you don't gain as much experience for it. You know, that's the reason why I was letting them go, because I wanted to get charm skill. I don't really care about charm skill itself, but getting me more levels so that I can get more focus points, that is the main concern there. Anyway, there you have it. We did get the fairgrounds building done. I am hopefully going to be able to get another one. Alright, so I just placed another 20,000 in there just to make sure that everything is going to go as smoothly as possible, because it had already used 5,000 of my cash, right? So we obviously don't want that to expire. Anyway, as I said to you before, I really wanted to get rid of citizenship, so that is exactly what we're going to do. As you can see, there we are. Getting rid of this is fantastic. The reason why getting rid of this is really, really good is because of the loyalty decrease. It takes away 0.5 loyalty. Obviously, I wouldn't really care about citizenship at all if we had forgiveness of debts, for example. But as you can see, support is at 0% for this particular policy. There are a couple of other policies here that have 80%, 45%, and so on. But forgiveness of debts, I don't know why the AI always hates this. I understand that, yeah, sure, okay, settlement production reduced by 5%. I can assume that that's the reason. But the loyalty gain is, in my opinion, so worth it that I don't see the reason. I mean, 5% is nothing, in my opinion, in comparison to getting the loyalty up. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.